This courtroom video quickly turns into chaos when a woman boldly challenges the judge and refuses to recognize the court's authority. From the very first moments, she claims the court has no jurisdiction over her and demands that her case be dismissed, without answering a single direct question. Instead of cooperating, she talks over the judge, rejects the legal process, and even announces that she won't be showing up for her own court date. The judge, meanwhile, stays remarkably calm, giving her multiple chances to explain herself, clarify her position, and follow basic courtroom procedure, but she refuses every time. As the hearing continues, prosecutors reveal that this isn't her first attempt to avoid court. She's already missed previous appearances and is facing charges that include speeding, driving without insurance, and operating a vehicle with an invalid license. Yet instead of addressing the charges, she sticks to the same argument: the court has no authority over her. Eventually, the judge has no choice but to mute her due to her disruptive behavior, a rare moment that shows just how uncooperative the situation has become. Despite her refusal to participate, the court schedules the case for trial, making it clear that the legal process will move forward with or without her. This video is a powerful example of how the justice system handles sovereign citizen arguments, and why refusing to engage with the law often leads to even more serious consequences.
Are we on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are we under penalty and perjury?
Are we on what, ma'am?
Under penalty and perjury, if you're willing to swear in.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can barely hear you.
I said, is everybody willing to swear in under penalty and perjury?
Ma'am, we're not taking testimony as of yet. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and adjourned arraignment pretrial in these matters.
It still has to be placed on a record. He still has to be put under penalty and perjury because he's swearing to an alleged crime against me and holding me accountable. So even though this is just a hearing, it still has to be put on notice for the public as well.
Ma'am, today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and the arraignment pretrial. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Benita Seeley.
Ms. Seeley, Mr. Batar is the court-appointed attorney assigned to this courtroom for the day. He's indicated that you don't wish to engage his services. Is that correct?
No, let me explain my position. I asked him a simple question about jurisdiction. That's why this hearing has been re-adjourned for today, because the last hearing, none of the attorneys could answer the question in regards to what jurisdiction that we're operating under. So they want to proceed without addressing the jurisdiction, which is a violation of due process. So in order for him to be represent me on any public record, I have to understand what jurisdictions he's operating on.
Ms. Seeley, if you do not wish to use the court-appointed attorney, and you confirm as much to the court right now, Mr. Batar can go back, ma'am, Mr. Batar can go back and do other things that he needs to do this morning. Do you wish to use Mr. Batar's services, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel through some other mechanism?
Under what charge, under which jurisdiction, and then who's bringing the charges against me?
Ma'am, there were citations issued against you in Huron Township for limited access speeding 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. That's a civil infraction. There's count 2, no proof of insurance. And there is the misdemeanor of driving while license not valid or improper license. Do you wish to use the services of the MIDC attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel?
Who are the parties bringing this claim against me? It's a simple question.
I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am.
And could you re-answer it? Because I didn't hear it. Who's bringing the charges against me?
The citation that was issued to you was issued by an officer from Huron Township, Freddie Yono. It's the citation that was issued is signed.
So it's
It
Freddie.
has his name and his ID number. Ma'am, my question to you is, do you wish to engage the services of the court-appointed attorney, or may I release him to go back to do some other work?
Wait a minute, I have questions before I can answer on. You're trying to get me to
No,
raise questions
ma'am.
that you
No,
know.
ma'am.
Yes,
No,
it's a
ma'am.
due process violation. Objection. Yes,
Miss
because you're not
Seeley,
hearing me. This is a hearing.
This is the third and last time I'm asking you. Will you be using Mr. Baturs to represent you this morning, or do you wish to retain your private attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Mr. Batar, you may return to your breakout rooms to meet with other potential clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I
Ms.
may,
Seeley, do you intend to represent, I'm sorry, Ms. Foley Carter.
I just want we started this case back in July. Ms. Seeley attended her first pretrial. She demanded that the case be dismissed. I declined. I asked that the case be set for a bench trial. Ms. Seeley objected, and Magistrate Hinman advised her to file a motion stating her objection. Since then, she asked Judge Green for her oath of office and then didn't appear for the court dates before Judge Oakley. So this case has been going on for quite some time with no resolution.
Because I'm asking a question and it requires a rebuttal when it's being ignored. You cannot violate the due process. This is a hearing, and any question that I have needs the capacity of government and ignore the questions that the people have. Someone's bringing a claim against me, and my only question is, are we dealing in a commercial or a common law, also known as a record of law, court? That's simple. So are we in a common law court, yes or no?
Marianne, a in-person bench trial date in this matter, please.
Objection. Objection. Are we in a common law court, yes or no?
January 23rd.
Case dismissed.
At 11 o'clock.
Case dismissed. Case dismissed because you refuse to rebuttal to the question regarding jurisdiction. You cannot proceed without honoring the jurisdiction. You cannot be in the capacity of a...
The misdemeanor matter and the two civil infractions that are traveling with it that were issued on April 26, 2023 will be set for an in-person bench trial in courtroom number 1.
Objection. I will not be showing up. Objection. I will not be showing up. You refuse to answer the question of jurisdiction. You're trying to get me into the courtroom so you can take me against my will and lock me up in a cage like an animal. Objection. You do not have jurisdiction over me. You do not have judicial authority in North America. You are working for a municipality called the state of Michigan. You have no jurisdiction. You are an attorney. You work for a corporation. You are in a municipal capacity. You have no authority. You call yourself government. Your position is a public servant. I am the objection.
Miss Seeley,
no, you cannot proceed as an attorney. Objection. I will not be showing up in court. I will appeal this matter. Objection.
There's no question pending to you, ma'am. This court will be muting you at this time because the court has muted Ms. Seeley as her responses are not responsive to the matter that is before the court. This matter is being scheduled for trial. If Ms. Seeley wishes to absent herself from that trial, that is her absolute right. That trial date is January 23rd at 11 a.m. That concludes this matter.
In this video, what starts as a routine court hearing quickly turns into a tense and unforgettable standoff between a judge and a woman who refuses to recognize the court's authority. From the very first moments, she challenges the judge's jurisdiction, insisting that the court has no legal power over her and demanding her case be dismissed, without answering even the most basic questions about her identity or charges. She repeatedly interrupts the judge, speaks in legal-sounding phrases, and claims she is not subject to statutory law. Every attempt by the judge to move the hearing forward is met with resistance. Instead of responding directly, she questions whether the courtroom is a common law court, and accuses the judge of failing to prove jurisdiction. Her tone grows more confrontational with each exchange, transforming a simple hearing into a prolonged legal standoff. The judge, however, remains calm and composed throughout the entire exchange. Despite the constant interruptions and refusal to cooperate, the judge continues to explain the process, restate the purpose of the hearing, and give her multiple chances to participate properly. The contrast between her defiance and the judge's patience becomes one of the most striking elements of the video. As the hearing continues, the woman goes even further, announcing that she will not appear for her scheduled in-person court date. This statement alone shocks the courtroom, as refusing to attend court can lead to serious legal consequences. Yet she seems unconcerned, repeating her belief that the court has no authority over her and therefore no power to compel her appearance. At this point, the prosecutor steps in and provides important background on the case. The charges date back several months and include speeding, driving without proof of insurance, and driving with an invalid license, which is classified as a misdemeanor. The prosecutor explains that this is not the first time the woman has tried to avoid court proceedings. She previously demanded that her case be dismissed, objected to a bench trial, and failed to appear at earlier court dates. Rather than addressing these charges, the woman continues to rely on arguments commonly associated with the sovereign citizen movement, a group of individuals who believe that they are not subject to government authority or statutory law. She insists that unless the court can prove jurisdiction in her terms, she has no obligation to participate. This approach leads her to avoid answering direct questions, respond with unrelated legal jargon, and accuse the court of wrongdoing. The judge attempts again to restore order, reminding her that court proceedings follow established legal procedures and that her refusal to cooperate does not invalidate the court's authority. The judge explains that jurisdiction is determined by law, not by personal belief, and that her presence in the courtroom and the nature of the charges already established the court's authority over the case. Despite these explanations, the woman continues to talk over the judge, repeat the same arguments, and refuse to engage in a meaningful way. Her tone becomes increasingly hostile, and her responses grow more erratic. She refuses to confirm her identity, declines to acknowledge the charges, and insists that the court is acting unlawfully. As the exchange continues, the judge's patience is tested further. Even so, the judge avoids raising their voice, issuing threats, or escalating the situation unnecessarily. Instead, the judge repeatedly asks simple, direct questions in an effort to move the hearing forward and give the defendant every opportunity to participate. Eventually, it becomes clear that the hearing cannot continue in a productive manner while the woman remains uncooperative. Her constant interruptions prevent the judge and prosecutor from completing even the most basic procedural steps. At this point, the judge makes the decision to mute her microphone, a rare but sometimes necessary measure in virtual courtrooms to maintain order and ensure the proceedings can continue. Once muted, the prosecutor resumes explaining the procedural history of the case, emphasizing that the woman has already missed court dates and failed to comply with court instructions. The judge acknowledges this history and makes it clear that the court will proceed regardless of her refusal to participate. The court then schedules the matter for trial, noting that the defendant retains the right to attend, but also acknowledging that the case will move forward even if she chooses not to appear. The judge explains that her absence does not prevent the court from exercising jurisdiction or resolving the charges against her. Throughout the video, the narrator offers commentary, pointing out the flaws in the woman's legal arguments and explaining why sovereign citizen theories do not hold up in real courtrooms. The narrator emphasizes that refusing to answer a judge's questions does not make a person immune to the law. Instead, it often results in missed opportunities to defend oneself and can lead to more serious legal consequences. The narrator also highlights how these tactics frequently backfire. Rather than weakening the case against them, individuals who refuse to cooperate often strengthen the prosecution's position by demonstrating a lack of respect for the court and an unwillingness to follow legal procedures. In many cases, this behavior leads to warrants, additional charges, and harsher penalties. As the video unfolds, viewers witness a clear example of how the justice system handles individuals who challenge its authority through non-cooperation rather than legal argument. The judge's calm demeanor, the prosecutor's detailed explanations, and the defendant's persistent defiance combine to create a tense and compelling courtroom moment. This exchange also serves as a broader lesson about the importance of understanding how the legal system works. Courts operate based on established laws, not personal interpretations or beliefs. Jurisdiction is not something a defendant can simply reject, and refusing to engage with the process does not invalidate the charges or stop the case from moving forward. By the end of the video, it becomes clear that while the woman believes she is standing up for her rights, her actions are likely to have the opposite effect. Her refusal to cooperate, her decision not to appear in court, and her reliance on discredited legal theories put her in an even more difficult legal position than before. The video leaves viewer with a powerful reminder. In the courtroom, words matter, cooperation matters, and understanding the law matters. Challenging authority through lawful argument is one thing, but refusing to engage altogether often leads to consequences far more serious than the original charges. This courtroom confrontation stands as a striking example of how patience, procedure, and the rule of law ultimately prevail, even in the face of extreme defiance.